Hello guys, welcome to this channel. So in today's tutorial we'll be learning how to sew this beautiful corset gown with a drape. In our last tutorial we learned how to draft this, so if you are interested in knowing how I achieve this, I'll be dropping the link in the description box or in comment section so you can watch for better understanding. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and do it by turning on your notification bell so you can get notified when next you upload new tutorials. So guys, let's get straight into the video. So right now I've gone ahead to transfer my pattern to my fabric, and I've added half of an inch all around. For this center front, it was cut on a fold, and you can see I've ironed my hairstay and my paper gum to the lining, hairstay to the main fabric, okay. And also for this cup one, I've added half of an inch all around, and I have 4 pieces, 2 pieces for the fabric, 2 pieces for the lining piece, and I added my gum stay, my paper gum and my hairstay. Likewise this other part, add half of an inch all around and make sure you have 4 pieces. For this other side front, I've added half of an inch all the way around. I have 4 pieces as well, 2 main fabric, 2 lining piece, and I iron my paper gum to the lining piece and hairstay to the main fabric, okay. So this is the back. I've added half of an inch on the shoulder and on the waistline, so I've notched the dart. So I'm going to be sewing the dart on the wrong side of my fabric. I'll do that on the lining piece and the main fabric as well, okay. So after doing that, I'll go ahead and sew the neck. I'm going to place them right side facing each other. I'll sew the neck, the zipper area, and also I'll sew this side, okay. I'll do that and show you. I'll repeat the same thing to the second one. Also for this part, I'm going to be joining up, sewing this. I'll open up this center piece, then I'll place them, arrange them like so. Then I'm going to be placing them right side facing each other, and I'll be stitching using half of an inch. Place them like you see me doing and stitch half of an inch. After stitching, I'll go ahead and give it a good press. I'll open up the seam and iron. Please, you are going to repeat the same thing to the lining piece as well. Also for the cups, I'm just going to be separating the main fabric from the lining piece. Then you are going to place your cup 1 and cup 2 like this. So you are going to be placing them right side facing each other, and you are going to be stitching by this side. Go ahead and stitch using half of an inch. I'll repeat the same thing to the lining piece and to the other cup as well, okay. So guys, after I was done stitching, this is what it looks like. Please go ahead and trim off the excess allowance that you'll be having, okay. So this is the lining piece. I've gone ahead to trim out my excess allowance. So the next thing, I'm going to be creating my boning casing. So at this center line, this joining line, I'm going to be marking 3.5 inch. Then at this other side, I'll go ahead and I marked 1.5, but I later made it 1 inch because it was close to my zipper allowance. So go ahead and connect like so. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll do the same thing to the last one. I'll mark 3.5 at this side, then I'll mark 1.5 here, and I'll go ahead and connect like so, okay. If you have been following this channel, you should know how to do this. Please like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and do it by sharing this video as well. So I've gone ahead to create my strap, and I have 2.2 inch here. Please, you can make it 1.5 because I later trimmed it, okay. So you fold it into 2 and iron, place it at this side that you want to, the place you just marked, stitch half of an inch, then you turn it over and top stitch, place it like this, stitch half of an inch like this, then you turn it over like this and stitch half of an inch. You can go ahead and stitch at this other side so that the stitch will be on the two side. So for the cup, I've also gone ahead to stitch it, and I've ironed it as well. I trimmed off the excess allowance. For this cup, I folded it into 2 and I gave it a dart. So this is what you have, okay. So you can go ahead and trim it off or leave it like this. So I'm going to be placing my cup on my fabric, and I'm going to be using my hemming gum to put this in place, okay. But first of all, you are going to secure with your safety pin. Just go ahead and arrange it like you see me doing, okay. So for your cup size, it totally depends on your brass size, how full your breast is. There are some clients with round bust measurement, let's say 34 inches, but they have a fuller breast boobs. But there are some with 34 inches, but they are not busty. Okay, so you're just going to work on how full your client's bust is. So I'm going to be inserting my hemming gum in between like this. So if you have a fuller bust and you're using your round bust is 34, you can go ahead and use size 36 of your cup. That's if what you're making it, you don't want it to be revealing. And if not, you can just go ahead and use size. If you are not on a fuller bust, you can use size 34 or 32. Just work with what your client measurement is, bust measurement is. So guys, after I've done creating the boning casing, this is what it looks like, and I've also gone ahead to iron my hemming gum, okay, together with the cup, and this is what it looks like. Now I'm going to locate the center, the cup 1 and cup 2, so that I'll place it well. Please make sure you do this so that you don't sew it wrongly, okay. So now I'm going to locate the joining like this, and I'll place it right side facing each other. I'll be stitching half of an inch until I get to this top. I'll repeat the same thing from this other side. I'll go ahead and stitch until I get to the top as well. I'll do the same thing to this other side and the lining piece. So guys, also I'm just going to be notching this other part so that when I'm stitching, you will not have any excess, okay. So just notch it a little. Guys, after I was done stitching, this is what it looks like. It's looking pretty already. So next I'm going to be folding this part into two, and I'm going to trim it a little, okay, to give it that sweetheart neck. So I went ahead to trim it off by half of an inch, and this is it. You can make it deeper if you want. And also I'm going to be trimming off this other part as well. Please, the same thing, I'm going to repeat the same thing to the lining piece because they are of the same size. So I'm still going to, at this point I still went ahead to trim it off, okay, to reduce it a little because I wanted the sweetheart neck to come out a little. So this is what it looks like. I've gone ahead to repeat the same thing to the lining piece. Now we are going to be cutting out our yoke. So I'm placed the center of my cup to the center of my yoke. So I'm just going to be tracing it out like you see me doing, okay. So go ahead and place it at the center, then you're going to be tracing it out. So if you want a full yoke, this is what you do, but for me I don't want a full yoke. Is my yoke is going to be half, so I went ahead to use my marker to enhance it, to make it more visible for you to see. So on the neckline, the neck at this side I'll be marking 3 inches, okay. Mark 3 inch, then I'll connect straight to my neck width like this. So this is the neck, this is the yoke that I'll be working with. I went ahead to enhance it so that you can see it clearly. So this is what you have. So the next thing, I'll go ahead and cut out like so. Also, I'm going to be from this center line, I mark 3 on our pattern paper. I'm going to mark the same 3 inch. That's where our yoke will be starting from. So I will go ahead and mark 3 inch like this. Please take note of that point. Then when you connect it, this is what it's going to look like. So I'm going to be trimming off this excess paper around here because I don't want it to get to the end. So just go ahead and follow this armhole line and cut out, okay. I'll still blend up later when I'm done transferring to my fabric. So I'm going to be transferring this to our fabric, and I added half of an inch like you see me doing. So this is our sample lace, and I used 2 nets for the lining, okay. So I'm going to be placing them like this, right side facing each other. We are just going to be stitching this side, just one side. I'll do that behind the camera and show you what next to do. So guys, after I was done doing that, this is what it looks like. This is our yoke. So the next thing this is our lining piece. Remember I told you you're going to do the same thing, trim it off, okay. So the next thing, I'm going to be marking 3 inch from here as well. We've marked the other side. I'll place my yoke. Please blend this other part as well, okay. Blend it up before going to sew. So I'm going to be placing them right side facing each other, right side of your yoke to the right side of your fabric. Then you're going to place your lining piece as well. Can you see that? So I'm going to be stitching from here, and when I get to this place where I mark 3, I'll place my yoke and stitch. Please stitch with your hemming gum, okay, on the lining piece. I'll do that and show you what next to do. And also I'm going to be stitching the sides as well. I'm going to be stitching the sides as well. So your yoke is in between your lining piece and your main fabric. I'll do that, iron it and show you. Guys, after I was done doing that, this is what it looks like. This is the outcome. I've stitched the side and I gave it a good press. So the next thing, I'm just going to be putting my boning. So I have my boning here, so I'm just going to be placing it like this. Please just go ahead and place it, the curved part, okay. You don't need to make it straight. By the time you iron it, it will lay flat, so you can notch the edges like this before placing them. So I'll do that and show you, I'll iron it and show you what next to do. So guys, after I've done doing that, this is what it looks like. And you see I've gone ahead to iron it and it's sitting pretty well. So guys, the next thing, I'm just going to be, for the skirt part, I'm going to be folding it into 2. So I'll mark the seam allowance. We added half of an inch for the seam allowance. So when we are drafting the upper part, we used 5" for the basque. So I'm going to be marking 5" like this. And also I'll connect it to the side as well, okay. If you don't know how to draft a skirt pattern, we have a tutorial on that on our channel. Also, I'll be adding half of an inch like this. I'll go ahead and connect it to this top, and that's it. Scroll through the channel and you'll see a tutorial on how to draft a basic skirt block. So guys, this is it. When you place it, this is what it, can you see that they are equal? So I'll just go ahead and cut this out, okay. So I'll go to my sewing machine. I'm going to be stitching the skirt part, make it one piece. Then I'm going to be notching this center, and also for the skirt part I'll notch the center as well. Then I'll head over to my sewing machine. I'll place them right side facing each other, and I'll be stitching notch to notch. I'll stitch like this, then open up to the other side and stitch as well. So guys, also for the back, I'll just place them right side facing each other. I'll stitch. I'll repeat the same thing to the other side as well. And also I'm going to be joining the shoulder. Place them right side facing each other. Now use the lining of the back. I'll turn it to the front and I'll be stitching using half of an inch. I'll repeat the same thing to the other side. Guys, after I've done doing that, this is what it looks like. Can you see it's looking pretty and the inside is looking beautiful as well. I've also gone ahead to stitch the shoulder, and also I use my overlocking machine to overlock the edges, the rough edges, okay. So the next thing, it has a drape. I've gone ahead to measure 27 inches by 29 inches, okay. So just make it an excess. If your hip measurement, make it bigger than your hip measurement, because that's the fullest part around the area that will be placing our drape. So I've ironed gum stay just to at the half of the fabric. Then I'm going to be folding it like this, and I'll be stitching half of an inch. Then I'll turn it out and show you what next to do. Guys, after I was done sewing, this is what it looks like. So the next thing, I've gone ahead to iron it, but I'll be showing you what I did. I folded it inward like this, but before then, make sure you mark 3 inch or how wide you want your drape to be. Okay, this is 3.5. Make sure you marked it all the way down. Let it be equal, then you fold it in. At this hem, I have 2.5 inch as the XX, so I'll fold it inward like this. You fold it inward like this, so that we have 2 drape here, they'll be equal. So I'm just going to, this is what I did. So I'm going to be placing it on my dress like this. You can make it slanting. I'll stitch at this other side, or if you want to make it straight, but it's slanty from the picture that we are following. So I'm just going to be making it slanty. I'll stitch it, then I'm going to be imputing my body measurements, and also I'll fix up my zipper. I'll fix up my sleeve. This is going to be a straight sleeve, a pencil sleeve. So I also have a detailed tutorial on how to draft a basic sleeve. You can scroll through the channel and watch. So guys, after I was done doing all of that, I've stitched my body measurement, and also I've fixed up my sleeve. This is what it looks like. So you can go ahead, and when you turn it to the wrong side, this is it. It's looking really pretty. The next thing is to fix up my zipper and show you the final outcome. Guys, this is the final outcome. As you can see, it came out really beautiful. If you find this tutorial interesting, please watch till the end. See you in my next one.